inside the Indianapolis Zoo with Matt Standridge.
Welcome to the Indianapolis Zoo. I'm 13 weather meteorologist Matt Standridge. This past year, we've shared with you some of the great conservation efforts happening here at the zoo and around the globe. And we've introduced you to some of their most popular residents. Today, we're gonna take a look back at some of our favorite moments and stories and memories, and we're gonna share them with you. Plus, we're gonna take a look at what's happening next. But first, let's start with our conversation with Dr. Rob Shoemaker, President and CEO of the Indianapolis Zoo, to find out what makes our zoo so special.
There's so much to see, but there's a lot of things that folks may not always be able to see that you guys are really proud of. What do you think makes the Indianapolis Zoo stand out compared to other zoos around the whole world?
It's a great question, Matt. I'm really proud of so many things that our zoo does, and our mission's really clear, that our job is to protect nature and inspire people to care for our world. And so when people come and visit the zoo like we did, they have these great experiences, they connect with our animals, maybe they get a chance to talk to the keepers or other staff members, and that's terrific. But there's, exactly as you say, there's a whole lot happening behind the scenes people rarely see or may not know about, and that's focused largely on the conservation efforts that we have that are all around the world. And it's not always clear when we say conservation efforts what that means to people. What it really means is that we are directly supporting conservationists all around the world who are working to save species in some of the remote and most difficult environments on Earth. And that's happening every single day, and it's a core part of what we do here at the zoo.
Incredible. So how does the Global Center for Species Survival intertwine with that?
We do a number of things to promote field conservation, which is maybe a better way to say it. And some of that's right here in Indiana, some of it's around the world. But to me, there's several things that I would mention. One, it's just the education efforts we have at the zoo, letting people know what they can do to do good things to promote wildlife conservation. A great example is recycling your cell phone, and amazingly, that helps chimpanzees in the wild. Another thing that we do is all of the money that we send to projects around the world that directly supports those projects and pays the salaries of the people that are doing great conservation work. Of course, the Indianapolis Prize is a huge conservation effort to promote conservationists and the work they're doing. And then you mentioned the last one, the Global Center for Species Survival. That is our newest department here at the zoo, and that is a team of conservation experts who spend every day supporting the people that are doing actual conservation work in the wild, connecting them with other conservationists, connecting them with resources, helping to get the word out about the important work that they are involved in. And that's a collaboration with IUCN, the International Union for the Conservation of Nature, the biggest conservation organization in the world, and we are really proud collaborators with them.
I mean, you're fueling the work that's being done, the real work that's being done around the world.
That's a great way to put it. We are fueling that work, and of course that requires money. That's just understood. But that's not the only thing. It also means people need assistance. They need encouragement. They need support. They need community. They need to be connected with other conservationists. All of those things are what really propel that work forward. I think it's a great insight you make.
So how would you say you all prioritize which species or conservationists to support? How does that work, and how is that coordinated?
The way we prioritize is a really interesting topic. I could say one thing is that we do focus on species that are here at the zoo as an example. So we've been supporting chimpanzee conservation for many years before we opened this chimpanzee exhibit. So that does point us in that direction, but that's not the only criteria we use. We support lots of projects where animals are not represented here at the zoo, and in that case, it's really clear. We're looking for quality projects that have the greatest chance of success.
As you heard, the zoo is involved with conservation efforts and projects all around the world. I mean, every time you go into the Global Center for Species Survival, it's hard to miss this map. This map shows you all the different projects the zoo helps support. They're international, it's really impressive, but there are a lot of projects here at home as well. In fact, we got to go on a field trip with the zoo to see incredible conservation projects right here in Indiana happen in real time.
We're right here at the Blue River, sort of one of the last places in Indiana where you do get hellbenders. This is where we are today to release some of the hellbenders reared in captivity. So as you can see from the river, this is sort of as perfect hellbender habitat as you get here in Indiana.
So how many buckets do I get?
Got all your hellbenders in here?
There's only 29.
So the hellbenders that we released today, they came from Purdue University's Aquaculture Research Lab and Fort Wayne Zoo. We also have hellbenders at Indianapolis Zoo and Mesker Park Zoo in Evansville, Indiana.
5. So I think that will be enough for that bucket. Yes, ma'am.
So those hellbenders, we loaded them up in chilled coolers at their facilities.
7 of them were 400 and some grams.
And drove them down here to the Blue River to eventually be released here. We load these hellbenders up in buckets.
And they're ready to go. Some have some serious attitude.
And then we let whoever's out here participating in the release, they go out in the river, they put them in a net, and then we actually let them take the hellbender and put them in one of our release cages that we keep the hellbenders in for a few days.
Up a little bit so that it's easier for people.
How do you manage something?
So the hellbenders, they stay in these cages for a few days just to give them a chance to acclimate to the river conditions.
Maybe. Well, he's at least squirmy.
And so they sit in these cages for about 3 days. We take those cages off.
So once you get down there, he'll give you a grunt. You can take it out with your hand.
And then they're free to go. Hellbenders are really one of the most unique species that most people would ever encounter.
Okay, I got one more hellbender. Okay. Yep.
They're a large aquatic salamander. They're fully aquatic. They never come out of the river. They're a very ancient species. Their lineage goes back to the dinosaurs. So they're something that if they go extinct, we're really never going to be able to recover that. So it's sort of that natural history that we don't want to lose. They're also one of the main predators in a stream system.
Yeah. Cover with your hand. Are you from Indiana? So hold back, other hand cover. When you get to that slit, the net close enough, he will give you a grunt, but you can take it out with your hand and put it in. Okay.
Okay.
Hellbenders are something we call an indicator species. So when hellbenders are in your river, it's generally thought that your river is probably clean. As long as those hellbenders are reproducing and surviving, you probably have nice clean water. But when those hellbenders start to disappear, that sort of indicates that your water quality is dropping for some reason. The Blue River specifically, when the water quality degrades, it's bad for hellbenders, it's bad for fish, which is typically thought to be bad for recreationists. And this is a very popular river. When the water quality degrades, that's bad for everybody. You can get sick. The fishery can decrease, anything like that. And then, of course, obviously, wildlife populations suffer.
Your hand to release it.
I think it's wonderful to see that many people out, and it clearly shows that if you have a really good project and a really cool idea to really restore something that's so part of nature here, part of the country, part of the land of Indiana, that people are really interested. And I think quite often also in conservation we can sometimes get a bit jaded. It's like, oh, we're just doing this thing on a salamander that nobody really knows about because, they've declined so much and nobody's seen them. And people probably don't care. And sometimes you think this, but I really don't think that's true at all. If you tell a good story, if you say why this species matters and how it's kind of connected to us all.
All right, who wants to go next?
I think that's such a powerful draw, and I think the turnout today really has shown this. It's so wonderful.
Still to come, we're going to meet some of the zoo's most popular residents. I'll introduce you to a mother rhino and her not-so-little girl. Plus, it's tortoise time. I get to hang out with some of the zoo's oldest residents and check out their new digs.
Welcome back. I'm standing outside the entrance to the Plains area, which is where the rhinos live here at the Indianapolis Zoo. Rhinos face threats from poaching out in the wild. So the Indianapolis Zoo helps support projects for conservation efforts to save rhinos out in the wild. I got to meet them. They're pretty awesome. Welcome back. We are in the plains of the Indianapolis Zoo, hanging out with the rhinos. It's our Meet the Resident segment. I'm joined by senior zookeeper Amber.
Watch your horn.
So who is this? Who do we have here?
This is Zenzelli.
So is this the mom?
This is Mom,
Okay.
and this is her juvenile calf, Zola.
And tell me why you guys named her Zola.
Zola means precious in Swahili.
That's awesome. So tell me a little bit about these rhinos and the care for them.
These are white rhinos. There's 5 species of rhino. These guys are the prominent ones that are left in South Africa. About 16,000 of them. Unfortunately, these guys are the ones being targeted on poaching crisis because there's more of them out there.
I do want to touch on the conservation. That's your background. I mean, that's what you've been doing for
I
years.
do that outside of work, yes.
Yeah, tell me a little bit about how that's going.
So these guys, because of that poaching, and within 20 years, they're not going to be here if we don't get a handle on that education. So poaching of the horn is what they're after. The horn is hair, so it's keratin, same stuff as our hair and our fingernails.
Sure.
It doesn't really have any value to us per se, but there's very ancient beliefs that if they consume the horn, it'll cure illnesses. So scientifically, that's been proven to be false, but it's hard to educate and not be disrespectful.
They seem very social.
White rhinos are very social.
Okay.
So in the wild, they would be living in groups, primarily females. So you'll have mom, little ones, sisters, aunts, grandmas. The males are typically solitary. Unless it's breeding season, the male will come in, find him some friends, and then moves on.
Hi, Zola. So do they like belly scratches, belly rubs?
She loves to be touched, so feel free.
Show me how would you do it? How would you safely?
So usually I'll give her some treats here.
Okay, she's been a good girl. Hi, Zola.
So they really love the attention, love that tactile. See if she'll slide up a little bit there. And anywhere on her forehead or her side.
Okay. Hi, Zola.
She is 1.5 years old now.
1.5 years. How big are they when they're born?
She was around 160 pounds at birth, and I weighed her a couple weeks ago, and she's around 2,000 pounds right now.
Wow.
Mom is 3,900 pounds.
Is that kind of the max? They roughly
Females
should be?
are usually 4,000.
4,000.
Yeah,
okay.
males are usually 5,000. So here's a close view of that keratin I was speaking of. You can see these fibers here. So when it rains, it softens it just like your fingernails in the bathtub. It'll soften it. They'll rub, and that allows them to shape it and kind of form it the way that they want it. You can see hers doesn't really have that. She hasn't reached that stage in maturity necessarily to need to rub that. It's just growing at this point. They are not born with the horn.
Oh, they're
so
not?
that
Okay.
came in at about 6 weeks.
Okay. What do you think Zola is thinking right now? If she could talk to you right now, what would she be saying?
I want snacks.
Just wants the snack.
Snacks
Give
and
me the food.
attention.
I'm here now at the new tortoise habitat, which is perfect because they have a nice big outdoor space. They also have a nice inside space. That's where they are now because it's nice and cozy inside. But before they move to their new permanent home, I got to meet them. All right, so here we are. I've been very excited for this part. We're getting to meet some tortoises. I've got Dane with me here. Who do we have here? Who are you introducing?
This is AJ. He is our largest of our Aldabra tortoises here. He is 90 years old, and that might sound pretty old for a person. These guys can live to be 100 or 150 without any problem, so he's got plenty of years left in him. Happy to be here. He does weigh over 500 pounds. He's around 515, so he's definitely a big, hefty guy, and the largest of the tortoises we have here at the zoo right now.
You've been feeding him. I've been seeing him. He was laying down, but you got him to come up for a second.
Absolutely. So these guys, especially AJ, is very sociable. He's happy to have the food when he are around. And he is happy to have these scratches as well. So you can certainly come over to him and give him little scratches on his neck. And This little response here is really similar to what you see in Galapagos tortoises, where they sort of allow potentially little birds to come by and eat off little ectoparasites. So this is a very sort of natural sort of stance for him, even though it may look a little funny, but it is serves a purpose as well for those birds to come by and eat off those little mites.
He's such a unique texture. I've never pet
yeah.
a tortoise before.
It's a bit like a very rough, very used basketball almost. So,
that's a good way to put it. So tell me about the tortoises that you have. Uh-oh.
That's okay.
He's like, give me the whole
Yep.
thing. So tell me a little bit about, you've got a few tortoises here. So some of them have been here before, some of them are new?
Yeah, so AJ here, with his poor aim, has actually been at the zoo here before. So he was around the early 60s. So about 1963 he was here at the zoo, and he lived here until about 2009. So he was here for a very long time. And we have another individual, Lynn, who was here from about 1990s to about 2009 as well.
So tell me about the social dynamic of these tortoises. Do they know each other? Do they interact with one another?
They certainly can. And so these guys are very close to social. So they certainly do live around the same little group in the wild, and it is not uncommon to see them sort of basking and sort of hanging out with each other.
What do you think surprises people the most about these tortoises?
I hear a lot about people being surprised about how each of them sort of has their own personality here. So AJ is a very outgoing individual. He sort of follows us around anytime we're in the exhibit, just like he's doing now.
Still ahead, we know unfamiliar territory can be scary for us humans, and the same is true for animals. We'll show you the time and care that's taken to make sure new arrivals here at the zoo are ready to meet the public.
Welcome back. During the warmer months, this is where the giraffes hang out, and you can come to the Indianapolis Zoo. You can feed them. It's so much fun. This year, the zoo had a new resident, and there's a lot of work that goes into making sure an animal is ready for their new habitat.
We are behind the scenes at the zoo in the large mammal area. I'm joined by senior zookeeper Amber Burnt. It's great to see you again, by the way. Really wanted to get into the process of new animals coming to the zoo. For example, you've got a new animal that you're showcasing here very shortly. Let's talk about Amani.
Amani just turned 1 year old. He is a reticulated giraffe. We are planning to utilize him as a breeding male, so he has been partnered with our female Kita. Typically when an animal comes into the zoo, they go through a quarantine period. That quarantine period can vary from 30 days to 45 days. The purpose of that is to let that animal get some acclimation to the new space.
Do you notice something over time with his behavior, maybe other animals' behaviors too? They get to Indiana first time ever, and then they're getting ready to everything. Over the course of time, do you notice how their personality may change?
It can definitely. So think about it. When an animal just leaves its home, it's left its herd mates, it's left the keepers that he knows, the building area. So when they come here, it's a shell shock. He doesn't know us, so the keepers are kind of gauging him, he's gauging us, he's evaluating the new space. The stalls may be different, the weather may be different. This guy came from similar climate, so it's not a huge change for him.
Visitors recently haven't been able to see the giraffes, but there's a really important reason why. It's not just Amani, but the rest as well?
Yes, so typically it can vary. If that animal is a little more outgoing, takes everything in with a grain of salt, we can get that animal out to the new space, the outside space, within days, or sometimes it could take a month per se. So this guy is a little more, he's very outgoing and laid back, but he's also a little shy. So there's various yards that he needs to get comfortable in before he's out on exhibit. So that's kind of the process that we're at right now. He's used to the female, he's used to the stall space. But now, the closer we get to the exhibit, he's like, wait a minute, I'm comfortable in the barn. Yes, I've only been here for a little bit of time, but I know that that is my safe space. So to venture out in a larger area, it can sometimes be scary.
What's the game plan? How do you try to get him comfortable with the exhibit? How do you do that?
We will spend time with him, so we'll stand out here, usually a couple of us. We'll use different rewards, so we'll bring out browse leaves. We'll bring out, he loves carrots and lettuce, so we'll bring that out. We'll bring even some of their grain pellet that they get for their diet. And we'll kind of just sort of lure him down and see that, hey, this isn't scary down here. But he's going through the process as we expected. We're just a little optimistic and cautious on not wanting to push him too soon.
Can you tell me a little bit about his friend? So far, they seem to be really close. Are they getting along? How's their interaction been?
They've been great. So at first she was like, hey, she kind of wanted to assert that dominance a little bit, so she would kind of bump him around. She'd bump him with her neck, which is typical behavior of a giraffe. But once she saw that he kind of took his place there, that they've been fine since then. So as you can see, there is a size difference. Sure. She is 7 years old and he just turned a year old. So that matchmaking process won't be for a little bit of time. We're hoping in the next year or so, he'll be ready to look at her in a different way.
We've got much more to come in this special look back episode of Inside the Indianapolis Zoo. I'll introduce you to the new director for the Global Center for Species Survival and share his mission of conservation here at home and around the world. Plus, during the warmer months, you can catch the macaws flying free across the zoo. It's pretty cool. We'll share the efforts to protect these majestic birds. And I've got a few more residents I want you to meet. We'll be right back.